Dr Lester James Peiris, renowned as the father of Sri Lankan cinema, revolutionized the then Sri Lankan film industry, which was influenced by South Indian cinema. He flavoured it with the Western filmmaking and his own inspirations gathered through his travel to England in 1947, where Dr Peiris first began pursuing his passion for cinema. It was after his successful assignment in England that he returned to Ceylon in 1952 and created the landmark film Raykawa. His uniqueness in filmmaking was recognized not just locally but also globally when Raykawa was nominated for the Palme d'Or in 1957, the highest accolade awarded at the Cannes Film Festival. It was the first time a Sri Lankan film was chosen for an international accolade. Dr Peiris' journey in filmmaking gave him the opportunity to be involved in over 28 films, which included short films and documentaries. The veteran is highly respected for his movies Vakande Walawwa, Gamperaliya, Delawak Katara, Ransalu, Golu Hadawata, Madol Duwa, Nidhanaya and Yugantaya. His film Nidhanaya is hailed as the best Sri Lankan film so far and was the only Sri Lankan film to be included in the top 100 movies of the world. His film Vakande Walawwa, starring Ravindra Randeniya and Malini Fonseca, was Sri Lanka's first ever submission for the Academy Awards.
Undoubtedly, all the films which he have edited, all the films which he have produced are the best in Sri Lanka in artistic way and also in the commercial way.
The late veteran director's contributions to cinema earned him several local and international awards, including the title Sri Lanka Bhimanya, the highest honour for a civilian in Sri Lanka. His exceptional creativity along with his leadership skills inspired a few generations of younger filmmakers to try their best in the industry.
Lester James Peiris, I regard him as my teacher in the cinema. We gather the knowledge and the experience before you act or before you become a creator, appreciator of the field. So that is first the lesson he taught us.
Dr Lester James Peiris passed away on Sunday at the age of 99 while receiving treatment at a private hospital in Colombo. Since Monday, throngs including politicians and artists came to his residence along the Lester James Peiris Mawata in Colombo 5 to pay their final respects. In recognition of the utmost service Dr Peiris rendered to the nation, today is declared a national day of mourning. Catholic religious proceedings were conducted this morning before his body was taken to the Independence Square so that the people will be given the final chance to pay their last respects to the late epoch-defining film director. The funeral cortege paused a while at the National Film Corporation, where artists joined the cortege in honour of the late Dr Peiris. Once taken to the Independence Square, late Dr Peiris's body was laid on a special platform and the funeral proceedings commenced at 3 p.m.
He directed some work in order to bring the ability of audience to appreciate high-level quality of cinemas. He brought name of Sinhalese cinema to other countries,
bringing international honour and recognition to Mother Lanka as no other filmmaker has ever done, showered with accolades, fame and distinction in every film forum and festival. As one of the most distinguished filmmakers of the world, you were never afflicted by false arrogance. That is why I make this profound statement that we will not get another Lester James Peiris here again.
For me, Peiris was almost a father figure. His essential nature of humor, simplicity and a concern for the others endeared him to everyone who came across in his life. Even the last time when I met him in his house, his mind was very sharp and he had a remarkable memory of the past and a great attention to detail of the present. Gift so much to the society he lived in and then making it enriched and leave behind an example. He is not only an icon of the Sinhalese cinema, he is one of the great filmmakers of the world.
President and Prime Minister, the home of Dr Lester James Peiris was his sanctuary. It was there that Sri Lankan cinema was groomed. It will only be the two of you who have the power to make this sanctuary a cinema museum. The next hope of thousands of film fans is to see Mrs. Peiris living in that house for the rest of her life. Our next hope is to see that she be provided the monthly government allowance for the rest of her life as well.
අනෙක් අපේක්ෂාව
Sunil Ariyaratne Maitituma.
Sunil Ariyaratne made a proposal. We as the government will take measures to make his request a reality. May Dr. Peiris attain Nibbana and may he be blessed.
දෙහිපීට ප්‍රාර්ථනා කරමින් මා සමුගන්නවා.
නිදහසෙන් පස්සේ සිංහල
Following the independence, the two most influential people in shaping Sri Lankan literature, in my opinion, is Edirivira Sarachandra and Dr. Lester James Peiris. It was their effect that we saw during 1960s. May Dr. Lester James Peiris attain Nibbana.
නිවන් සැප ලැබේවා කියා මම ප්‍රාර්ථනා කරනවා.
Following the religious proceedings, late Dr. Lester James Peiris' remains were placed inside the special funeral pyre, which was a replica of the fort which featured in Dr. Peiris' film Sandeshaya. The funeral pyre of the iconic film director and producer late Dr. Lester James Peiris was then lit. As the sun was setting for the day, so did the era of the veteran film director, one which late Dr. Peiris inspired with greatness, honour and example. The father of Sri Lankan cinema set off on his final journey, reducing thousands to tears.